Alright guys, here we are at a Hyundai dealership over here in the Inland Empire, and we're going to repair a couple of windshields, and I'm going to take you guys along with me and show you what I do every day. So let's go. This is my setup. Walk around with my bag all day, and we just walk around on these lots and we find the cars, and then we go up to them and we'll fix them. So I'm gonna walk up. Our first one is right over here, so it's gonna be, what is this thing? Some type of a little Infinity. And we're working on used cars, so you notice I've already pre-walked this lot and went and found the damage, and I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna fix that little bit of damage that's on that windshield, so this car is looking right on the front line. So let's get to work. I'll try to get this set up so you can take a look. I'll get better as we go along with this. So what I got here is a Dremel. What model is this? It's a 7350, and I get these little diamond bits, like they're dental bits, from the supply companies, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drill right into this damage, and we're gonna try to get that ready to accept some resin and come in. So this windshield's a little bit hot today, so I'm gonna get a little towel, but here we go. Wiping that away just to kind of see where it is. And what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to get away all the broken, where the rock actually did the damage, and I'm trying to scuff up the glass right around there to give the resin, you can see right there, that's a little bit better. It's going to give that resin a little bit better area for it to bite. So we're going to go ahead and get that resin in there and get this thing wetted, and then set up with some pit filler to try to fill that in so you can't even see it. All right, here we go. All right, so what I have here is our thick resin, and this is a little bit thicker, but what we're going to do first is I'm going to wet this with some thin, and that's just going to get rid of all of the cloudiness and settle all that dust, and it's going to make it just a little bit clearer of a repair. So we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of that thin on there. You can see where it almost kind of just took that away and it wetted it up. So now I'm going to take this thin, and I have these cellophane or harder plastic, like a cellophane tabs, and that's going to make it a zero oxygen environment and allow the ultraviolet light from the sun to go ahead and cure that. So let's go ahead and put some of our thicker resin on there. That's what we call pit filler, and that's what's going to give us a nice smooth surface. So on this one here, we're able to just get away with one tab because it fit in there, so we don't need this second tab, so we'll put that away. We'll put the resin away, and you can see we got that thing there, and it's going to cure. It's going to use the sun to go ahead and cure. So while that's curing, I'm going to go ahead and start my invoice and get that all going, and then I'll come back and show you what the end result is after this cures. Here we go. All right, so now that this has had an opportunity to cure, you can see I can go ahead and move that, and that's cured up. It's used the sun to cure. I'm going to go ahead and pull this tab. Pull that tab right off out of there. Could have used a couple of minutes more, but we're trying to move on. We got about 5 or 6 cars to repair here. So I've got myself just a regular old razor blade. I'm going to take and just lightly start scraping all the excess away. Okay, and that's going to give us a nice smooth surface where you can't feel that damage anymore, but you can still kind of see that damage in there, right? So what I'm going to do is I have just some different glass polishing compounds within there, in that little bottle right there, and I fill that up probably once every 2-3 months. Then I use the old Ryobi polisher with just a foam bit, not bit, but a foam pad on it. Okay, and that's gonna allow me to come back in here and just polish where those 3 pits were. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on that. I'm just kind of letting the tool do the work. Okay, and that's just gonna smooth that out, melt that top layer of that resin, and make that real nice looking and smooth to where you're gonna have to look really hard. I just use regular old Windex, cut it with some water. On damage you have, on cracks you have to be careful, especially in Southern California where I'm at with the heat, because if you lay that on there, it can crack out. It can contract the outside layer of the glass and it'll crack. But on this is just some level 1 damage that we're doing to cosmetically make this look better for the dealership. And that's it, guys. So let's just take a look at that. You can see where that damage is. You can still see it, but it's a lot better than it was. And that's going to be acceptable for our client and allow us to get this car sold. So let's go on to the next one. We'll try to find some level 2 damage and get a bridge out and do some work. So let's go check that out. See you in a second. All right, guys. So what I got here is I got a little 22 Santa Fe right here that's got some level 2 damage right down here in what we call the frit. And you're going to see that little pit down there, and as you can see where that rock went up and skipped right up on top of that. Here we get that in that shadow, you can see that a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and get the bridge out, and we're going to fill that in. So I'll kind of show you exactly what that process is to use the bridge to fix that. And then hopefully we got one, I think we got one coming up that's got some cracks. So we'll go ahead and fix that. So let's go ahead and get that thing filled in and make it look like brand new. You'll be amazed. Here we go, watch. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get the drill in here. We're gonna drill up where that rock bounced off that, and then get ready to put the bridge on and fill this. So let's go ahead and go. Roughen up the surface so that the resin has a place to bite and the pit filler has a place to bite. We're gonna knock all the broken glass out of that where the rock hit. Rough it up around the surfaces once again so that the pit filler has a place to bite. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drill straight down into that damage. Once again, a windshield is 3 layers, so all we're doing is we're drilling down into the top layer, outside layer of the glass, and we're accessing the cavity where the glass is broken. Don't want to go all the way through, so you want to be careful. That's about good. So, okay, so we're going to go ahead and stop there. Now, I'm going to use these 2 tools. We're going to use our brush to brush away all of the damage, and we're going to use the little puffer ball, which is like for photography. Let me straighten this out. And that's going to allow us to blow all the glass and the dust out of that crack. So let's go ahead. First, I'm going to go ahead and brush it with the brush, get all that cleared off. Then I'm going to come in with this puffer ball, and I'm just going to blow right inside there. Boom. There, all that broken glass and all the extra damage that we did is out of there now. So now, what we're gonna do is I keep these bags. I don't even drink, but I get these bags to hold the bridges. I use Delta kits designed just because they're simple, mechanical, no very little consumables to have to replace with these. And this is what we call a vacuum injection bridge. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna place that right over this damage. Okay, right over the hole. Run these feet down so that we get a nice platform on all 3 layers. Okay, and straightened up. All right, so now I'm going to take our thin crack filling solution, and then I'm going to use, this is called a spring plunger made out of stainless steel and aluminum. And what this is going to do, it's going to allow us, I'm going to go ahead and put that in a lock position. I'm going to put 3 drops to fill the cavity and the cracks for every repair. That's about what we use, depending. Sometimes a little bit more, but never less than 3. We'll go ahead and fill this, screw this bridge plunger into the bridge. Okay, I'm going to go ahead Get a little bit, I start manipulating it until I start to see the resin that we put in there start to come out a little bit. Now I'm going to put that down, and we're going to put it right into an injection phase. I use towels. Now listen, this is a thing of contention. There's a lot of people that use UV protection. They buy these fancy sheets, and they're kind of see-through plastic, but they're UV shields, guards. I've been doing this for 20 some years. I've been using these green towels, okay? And I'm trying to do 20 or 30 of these a day when I'm out working. I've never had a problem other than when the towel blows away, but that's why I use these. I'll go ahead and put one of these on that around that plunger when it's windy, and that'll keep that on there so that the towel doesn't blow away. So, you know, do what you guys want to do. If you guys want to buy the fancy tools and do that, that's fine. I've been doing this for a long time, and I just use a regular old towel and move on. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this, and let's put it in a vacuum state, show you how we do that. So basically what we're doing is we're taking and we're manipulating this damage, and we're putting it in a injection mode where it's injecting the resin down into it. Now I'm going to pull that up and have it set like this, and that's going to put it in a vacuum, so it's going to suck the air that was inside that damage right up out of there, okay? And it's going to allow us to go back into, I usually keep that in there for 30 seconds to a minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that back into an injection mode, and we're going to fill that void that we just pulled the air out of it with resin. So that's probably good. Let's go ahead and put it back into a injection mode. We're going to put a little bit of pressure. You can see where that silicone gasket is kind of mushrooming out of that. That's how I know I'm getting a good pressure cycle in on that. So I'm going to, while that's doing that, I'm going to go over to the other side of the windshield. I'm going to go ahead and start doing my invoice while that's doing its work. Make sure that I didn't miss anything on this windshield as far as work. And then we'll move on. So got another level 2, quadrant 3. So what you're going to find is you're going to find a mix between what we call level 2, which is where the windshield is actually cracked, and then level 1 brakes, where it's just chipped, where the rock has taken a big chunk of the glass out and skipped off of it. For these dealers, they will pay you to repair both of those. It's the same price. Sometimes they win, sometimes I win, depending on the damage. Obviously it takes us a little bit longer to get the level 2s done, but listen, these guys will pay you for any of that damage. They just need that damage because they don't want to have a due bill for the customer and have that be a point of contention where they're gonna have to pay for an entire windshield. They'd rather pay, you know, someone like you, myself or you and I, to be able to repair this and then not have to fix that windshield. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, boom, looks like we got good. I'm gonna take that and put a little bit of that thin that's left into that top where the rock skipped, and that's going to give us a little bit of a wetting effect on that to make it just a little bit clearer. Once again, I'm going to take our plastic sheet that's going to give us a zero oxygen environment, allow the sunlight to come through. We're going to take our thick resin, we're going to put a little dab right there, and guys, you don't need very much of that. Just a little bit will go a long way. We're going to put that on there. Now we're going to let that cure for just a few minutes, and as soon as I get that done, I am coming back to these bridges, removing the injector, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wipe all of the resin off of that, put that right back into the bag so that it's out of the sun, and then put this back into the bag so that it's out of the sun, so it's ready to go for the next repair, which is right next to it. So let's go ahead and take a look, and we'll give this a couple minutes to cure, and then we'll come back and move on to the next one. All right, hang on, guys. All right, guys, let's go back and check out on that last little Santa Fe how that repair came out on that level 2, and I'll show you what it looks like after I get it polished up. So let's get it done. and put you guys back in your little house here and stand so we can watch what's going on. There we go. Got a good shot of that. All right, so once again, we've got the plastic over the top of that, which puts it in a 0 oxygen environment, allows the long range ultraviolet to do its job. That's cured up really nice. Let's see what it looks like after we start to scrape it. Once again, we're just using a razor blade. We're taking that resin right off of it. Oh guys, it looks like we got a great looking repair going here. I'll put a little bit of glass cleaner. We're gonna get our polisher back out. I've already loaded up the foam head of this with the compound, so we don't need to do that. That's why we put the glass cleaner and the water on there, because we can just reactivate that with a little bit of water. Oh wow, look at that, guys. That's fantastic. So that no longer looks like any damage. The void is completely filled in, and there's just a little tiny spot, which you can see actually a little bit better against the black of the frit. Looks like our squirter for our glass cleaner finally gave up, so we'll have to stop and pick up some more glass cleaner. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and get that cleaned up. You can see where that damage is. Let me go grab you guys so you can come in here and see. You can see where that damage is. It's practically gone. Like, you'd have to really get up on there and take a look at it to try to find where that crack was, but the crack is completely gone. That customer is going to be so happy with that repair on this car, and they're going to get top value, and they're not going to have another contention. Here's a little shot from the, I'm going to try to find it from the other side. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so they're really going to have to hunt to try to find that, and their customers aren't going to have anything to complain about. That's what we do, guys. That's the value of our service, is we're coming in here and we're helping these dealers make these cars as good as they can be, so that their customers are happy and they know that they're getting a good quality vehicle. All right, let's go ahead to the next one. We'll see if we can't get a big crack. All right, guys, so we got this 21 Hyundai Sonata right here that's got some pretty good size damage right in the middle of the windshield. That's cracked pretty good. This is the bread and butter of what I do every day in windshield repair. So I'm going to get you in there, take a little bit closer look at what the damage is, and then I'm going to get it set up so that we start repairing this, and I'll take you along for that process. So let's go take a look at it. This is what you're going to be doing majority of the time, is fixing level 2 star brakes that are radial cracks from all different directions that have the potential of ruining this windshield. So we're going to try to save it. So let's go take a look. I'll get you in here. All right, so you can see I've already walked the lot, and let's go ahead and see if we can't get it looking on this white. You can see that damage right there on that crack. Okay, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks like 5. Looks like the rock hit here, skipped, jumped up, and then put a 5-leg brake in that. And this one's got a pretty unique, different looking cavity in it. I know this Action 5 doesn't really focus that well that close, but all right, so I'm going to get in here and use a drill and try to clean that up and get the deal set up, the bridge set up, so that we can do this repair. So let's go ahead and I'll get you guys set up in your place, and we'll do that. Here we go. All right, hopefully you guys can see that. A little bit far away, but we're going to go ahead and get in there. And I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. I've never really done a video about what I do for a living for the glass repair, but I've been doing this for like 25 years, and I love it. I just keep coming back to it, and I love the people that I get to deal with and talk to on a weekly basis. Those of you that know me know that I'm a Christ follower and a believer, and I get to talk about God and all the beautiful things that are going on in my life, and get to be there for others as they're going through their struggles and celebrations in life, and talk about that. So that's been really great, and I just love this job that I do. All right, so getting back to the repair, what we got is I've gone ahead and I've used the diamond bit drill and the Dremel 7350 to go in through that outside top layer of glass, and that's going to give us access to get into there. So once again, we're going to go ahead and take our little horsehair brush, detail brush. It's usually used for like detailing vents and whatnot, but I use it for glass. We're going to use our puffer bulb that we use for cameras. Actually, this is from Ritz Camera. I don't know if there's even a Ritz camera around anymore, but that's where this came from. I'm going to get you guys straightened up here. Okay, and we're going to take them, we're going to blow that out. Now we're ready to get the bridge out. So I'm going to go ahead and use a different style of bridge on this. We use the old BT250. Either 250 or 350, I can't remember. Doesn't matter. I'm going to use the old Delta Kit's the B150, which is a single leg. Since this is right in the middle of the windshield, we don't need to get all the quadrangle of trying to get the triangle, I should say, of getting it with the 3 legs. So this one's going to be just fine. I'm going to back off the plunger, and I'm going to back off the support, get that lined up right over the top of the damage so that the hole is right there. We're going to lock that thing down. We're going to adjust our support leg, and then we're going to bring down that just so that the silicone is just barely touching the glass. We're going to take our thin resin, once again, the thin crack resin that we use to fill in the dip voids and the cracks. We're going to put in approximately 3 drops of resin down inside there. We're going to take our spring plunger and we're going to put it in the vacuum position. We're going to screw it down into the actual plunger. Okay, we're going to move this, manipulate this up and down so that we can get, there we go. You can see we got the resin starting to come out of that. Now I'm going to put this into a pressure mode, into a pressure cycle. Make sure we got a good seat. Everything's starting to go. Fantastic. And once again, I don't use a UV shield. I've been doing this forever. I guess I never saw the reason to purchase one. I just use an old towel, and that's going to keep our UV light from getting down inside of that. So we're going to put that over the top of it. We're going to take the little, I get these over at Harbor Freight. It's like $1.99 for 6 of them. The one package lasts me a year, you know, so that's the deal. Now we're going to let that sit. You know, that's another thing, guys. I want to stop and talk to you guys and tell you that, you know, the costs on this business are really, really reasonable. We've got our equipment, which you can get online and go take a look at it, but nominal fee as far as what the equipment costs. I run 5 bridges, that way I can do 5 cars at one time. I buy the actual repair resin in quantities of 3 of these 15 milliliter bottles. Okay, so I buy 3 at a time, and that usually lasts me 2 to 3 months depending on the amount of repairs. And I usually use double the amount of thin to the amount of thick. And so it literally, the biggest expenses that I have for this business are going to be our garage keeper's insurance, just so in case, you know, I do any damage to any of these cars, you know, we can make sure that we're covered while we're on the lots. And the gasoline and auto insurance, you know, to get out to these dealerships. Once you establish the relationships and the accounts, you know, this is pretty much an automatic business that you really don't have to do much maintenance. You do some glass shaking with your customers, and you know, make sure that they're all good and they're happy with their customers, and you show up on time when you say you're going to be there. Keep your prices affordable so that it makes sense, and it's do what you say you're going to do, and always be honest, and you'll be successful. All right, so this thing's been in a pressure cycle. Let's go ahead and put you guys back down here, and we're going to put you in a vacuum cycle, and we're going to start pulling the air out of these cracks. I want to take a look. Oh yeah, it's already looking good. So I can already see that the black voids are going. We got a little bit of air still stuck in the ends, which makes sense because when we first put it in the vacuum, it's going to push the air all the way to the ends of those cracks. All right, so now we're going to put this bad boy in what we call a vacuum cycle, and that's going to be pulling that air out of there. And so what I'm going to do now is I got this little metal rod spoon thing that I use to actually open up the cracks and allow the air to come out of it and allow the resin to fill those voids. So I'm going to go ahead over here and I'm going to start manipulating where those cracks are and giving that air a little bit easier passage. You can see, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's just opening those little cracks right up. Okay, and I'll take a little bit of resin that's down there And as I open that up, it'll suck that resin right down into that little crack and start filling that in. We're going to manipulate this one a little bit more. Oh, that's great. These are nice and loose and stable. All right, so we got a nice big bloop of resin, so that means we got rid of any air bubbles that were in there. Now I'm going to scoop this resin up and get it going around these cracks, put it back into a pressure cycle, and I'm going to start manipulating these cracks to allow that resin to flow right back up into these cracks and fill the void where the air was. This is not rocket science, guys. This is basically just using physics and I guess hydrodynamics to replace a void that was full of air with this resin, and it's going to glue back together. All right, so I'm going to release a little bit of pressure on this. So I want to be able to flex this. Oh yeah, look at that. We got the resin flowing out. Suction it up real quick. Get a good seal on that. Let it come back. Boom. Oh yeah, guys, we're getting a good repair out of this. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up so I can see what we're doing. We're gonna let that set for just a couple more minutes into that pressure cycle. I'm gonna let that fill those voids. Now, generally, if I wasn't recording this and showing you guys what was going on, I would be going on. You can see, like right next to us, we got 2 more cars right over there. I would just be moving on to the next car and setting up our bridges or our repairs. And you can see, like right along this line, there's another 2 or 3 cars right down there that we got to do. So I would just keep on moving. Like I said, I have 5 machines, so I can do 5 cars at one time, and I just keep walking around in a circle. But since I got you guys along with me, I'm going to go ahead and just take our time. We're going to do one at a time. So let's go back and take a look at this and see if we're ready to start going into the pit filler and curing stage of this repair. This one's going to turn out really good, guys. I'm excited. Wait till you see how it comes out. Here we go. I'll put you guys back. Let's go take a look here. Get that vacuum one more time. Just let it really we're gonna get this thing going here. All right, I'll be right back when that's ready to go into the curing stage. Hold on. All right, guys, it's been a couple more minutes, and we're really getting close. Pulling this thing back, taking a look at this. When I release the pressure, it looks like it's filled in pretty good. There might be a little bit of water, and see, that's the thing. You're not always going to get 100% of everything on every brake. It depends if there's water, if there's debris or brake dust down inside these, how old these brakes are, what's been trapped down inside of these cracks. So we're just trying to keep it from spreading and keep it and get the windshield to look as good as it possibly can for resale. So let's go ahead and pull this off and take a look at it and see what we got. I'm going to get our pit filler thick resin out. I'm going to pull us out another one of our plastic curing tabs here. Once again, I got our thick resin and got our curing tab, and we're going to go ahead and pull this bridge and see what we got. Oh yeah, guys, this is looking really good. This is looking really good. For as bad as that damage was, I think we're going to end up with a good repair. Our customer's going to be real happy. Oh yeah, look at that. Just filled that right in, and as this cures and goes along, we got a little bit of an air bubble inside there. Oh yeah, so let's just go ahead and get that. Now it's just a waiting game. Once again, I'm going to take and we're going to pull this injector pin out of the actual injector bridge. We're going to clean that off real good. We're going to put it back into its little home so it stays out of the sun. Once again, I use Crown Royal. You can use whatever you want. I like to use these bags because it keeps me from having to clean these bridges as much as they probably should be cleaned. It just gives me some more longevity to get through a whole day. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to wait. Give us a couple of minutes. We'll be back. We'll show you what the end result looks like for this level 2 damage. Here we go. All right, guys, we're back over here at this Sonata. Outsides of it are still a little bit wet, but I think we're good enough to take this down and take a look at what our repair is going to be. It's only going to get harder as it cures up, but I think we're going to go ahead and pull this off right now. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start scraping this. Once again, nice and light scrapes. We're not trying to take this off. We're trying to just shave this down. It's a little bit thicker where that drip was, so we just get that. There we go. Now we can just take our time. And the lighter and the smoother you get this, the lighter the layers you take off, the better the final repair is gonna look. Oh guys, this is gonna look great. Our customer's gonna be so happy with that repair. I just love it when they come out like this. There's just something so satisfying about taking something that was broken and most people would just throw away and replace, keeping it out of the landfill and just giving it another life. This repair is gonna look fantastic. Let's put some compound on it, polish it up, and take a look. I'll get you guys in there so you can get a closer look. Our customer's gonna be so happy. All right, so I'll go ahead and we'll get some of this polishing compound on there. I'm gonna rub this in with my finger so it gets nice and good and get that started. Wonderful. Okay, let's get our polisher out here. Oh yeah, letting the polisher do the work, putting a little bit of heat and friction into that to melt that top layer of that plastic, and put a little bit of heat into that damage so that it closes it up a little bit better. Guys, this is gonna look great. All right, let's go take a look at that. And our my windshield washing bottle gave up, so we're gonna have to get a new one of those today. That happens, they just wear out. There we go. Do it the old-fashioned way, right guys? All right, so let's go ahead and get this cleaned up. Make sure that nobody can see where we were at to do the damage. That's another thing, guys, is clean your windshields off when you're done. You want to leave no trace. Treat it like you're hiking. You want to leave no trace. You don't want people to be like, man, what was going on there? The windshield sure is dirty on that car. I don't want my customer or their customers to ever even know I was on that windshield. And that's one of the things that sets me apart, I like to think, from some of the others, is I take that pride in what I do and in the job and just try to do it to the best that I can so that my customer never has to be like, man, did the windshield repair guy leave that car looking like that? That's terrible. What are we paying him? Yeah, you don't ever want that conversation. So guys, just do the best you can and do a good job and leave it cleaned up when you're done. So let's get you off here and take a look. That just looks great, guys. Once again, our damage is right here. When I get you guys in there, let's get you back over on the white so you can see. That's where that damage was. You could see those cracks before when I had you on there. Now you can't see them at all. There's just a little bit of discoloration and refraction of the light where the light goes through a little bit differently. But guys, I'm gonna call that a success. That is a repaired windshield and we are ready to move on to the next one. I've already gotten those one done while we were waiting for this one to cure. We got two more, and if I got anything good for us to look at, I'll get you in on that too. All right, let's get to the next one. All right guys, so we got this little, I don't know, it's a little Mercedes. It's like one of their little hybrids, 2021. What is this thing? Little GLB. It's a new model, but okay. But here's the deal. This has got what we call a level 1 bit of damage. You can see I got it marked right down here, and I'll get you down a little bit closer. But this is the stuff that the dealers they're willing to pay to have repaired, because when you walk up as a customer to this car is going to be $40,000-$50,000. Okay, it's used and it's at the Hyundai store, and you know they don't want to have reasons for the customer to start beating them up on the price and say no and move on to the next car. They're trying to sell these cars, and they don't have anyone in house that's going to repair this stuff. So let me show you what this damage looks like, guys. It's just little tiny damage like that, but it's a chip and it sparkles, and it does have the potential of becoming a crack later on down the line. Whether or not it will it remains to be seen. But here's the deal: we're in Southern California, and it's going to be 102 today. It's got to be 90, 95 out here right now. And as this stuff heats up, it has the potential to break. Okay, so we want to try to fix that, but these dealers are willing to pay for this to get these things repaired. So I'm going to get you guys set up in your little spot here. We're going to go ahead and repair that level 1. It's a good size level 1. The glass is actually gone, and it's you know, we're going to get that fixed up. Once again, we got our drill, our Dremel 7350, the good old trusty 7350. We're going to drill this out and get it someplace for our new resin to bite and make it like that was never there. The customer will never even know that that damage was there, and they'll be able to take care of the needs of the customer rather than the customer wondering why they didn't have the, fix the windshield of that used car and what else is wrong. So let's go ahead and get that. Once again, we got that done. We're going to take some of our thin resin and our towel, and we're going to wet that, get all that dust out of the way, and get it ready to receive our pit filler. Look at that, boom, it just goes away. It's like magic, guys. It's like magic. I love this business. Just to take something that is damaged and most people would just replace. They think that they can't do this stuff, but it really can be done. So we're going to take our pit filler. Once again, we rough that up around the edges so that has something to bite onto the original glass so that it's smooth all the way to the hole. Now we're going to let that set right there like that in the sunlight with our curing tab. Once again, it takes the oxygen away, allows that long wave ultraviolet to get through it, and cures that resin in just a matter of minutes. And we'll be back as soon as that's ready to be scraped. I'm going to go ahead and do this last one in the group down here. It's going to be, looks like a little Sonata again. Yeah, little Elantra. And this one here has got another level 2 damage right there where the rock come up and damaged that. We're going to go ahead and clean that up and get that so that the customer never sees that. I mean, this car's a 22. It's like brand new. They're asking $20,000. You start taking a windshield away from that, and you put a windshield in that car, and let's say it costs $1,500. Most of these dealers are only making $2,000-$3,000 margin on their vehicle after they put it through reconditioning, marketing, pay for the lights in these buildings, pay for their salesmen and all of that. They're only making a few $1,000s. And if you got to put a windshield that costs $1,500, that takes half your margin right away off the bat. So we're going to try to get that saved up for them, charge them a fraction of what it would cost to get that windshield replaced, and make our customer happy and get them on moving to the next vehicle. All right, guys, let's get this one here done up. We're going to go ahead and scrape this one. This one's done, and we're going to polish that up. Coming back to this Mercedes. Okay, like I said, it only takes a couple of minutes for this to go, so you can get multiple cars going at one time. It takes me more time to go find these things than it does to actually do the repair. It's kind of funny. All right, guys, so we got that. Once again, our squirt bottle is broken. We'll get another one of those. I'll put a little bit of that in my hand, put that on the windshield. Normally wouldn't be so messy about that, guys, but it is what it is. My Windex bottle give up, so we'll get another one of those later today. All right, once again, this is loaded up with the polish from before, so you can see how that's already leaving the residue, so there's plenty of polish in that to last me the rest of the day. Let this polisher do the work. I'm not pressing into that glass. I'm letting the polisher and the polish do the work. Boom. There we go. Let's go ahead and get our glass cleaning cloth. Once again, we're going to make this so that it looks like we were never here. That damage was never there. We don't want them to know that the glass repair guy came by and fixed that windshield. There it is, guys. Boom. That resin that'll cure up as it gets a little bit more sunlight. That'll get more clear as it goes, but that's smooth to the touch. Can't even see that it was there, and our customer's going to be very, very happy with that repair. Let's get on to that next one and get out of here, get to the next dealership. Here we go. All right, guys, here we are at our last vehicle at this stop. It's that 2020 Elantra. It's got that level 1 right down there in quadrant 2, which is right in front of the driver. It's one of the first places that the customer is going to look at when they walk up to that car. So we want to make sure that that glass looks nice and clean, and there's no reasons for them to question if there's been other things done to that car. We're going to make our customer real happy. That way they can make their customer real happy. Let's get down there and fill this thing in. I'll bring you guys along. I'll get you in your spot. Here we go. So you got to set up. Boom, nice spot right there. All right. Once again, the old trusty Dremel 7350. As these things are like 40 bucks on eBay. And the only bad thing is they got the old style USB, like the trapezoid kind of shape, not the USB-C, so they're kind of tough to find the cords for. But the next one hopefully will be USB-C. Anyways, here we go, guys. We got a little bit of damage where that rock is hitting there and hit up here and kind of rolled up. So we're just going to address all that, come in where that damage is, rough it up a little bit, give it something to bite, come in right where that main damage is, and I'm going to rough that all up, take all that broken shards of glass from the rock out of there and all the dirt from it not being repaired. give that new resin something to bite on, and that's going to make for a nice repair. So let's go ahead and get our thin. We're going to wet that up. Once again, we got our thin resin, our crack fill. I use that. It's a little bit, it's just same stuff, it's just a little bit thinner viscosity. You can see as soon as you put that on there, like, you can almost not see that at all. You can still see the void a little bit, and that's what we're going to fill in with this, the pit filler. So we're going to go right in here. Once again, I got a curing tab. I'm going to clean that off so that all the junk and anything from the past is gone. We're going to go ahead and just put some of that pit filler. Oh my gosh, it's like magic. Look at that, guys. It's gone. So we're going to put that on there, wait a couple of minutes, scrape it off, polish it, and then we're going to move on to the next one. I'll bring you back as soon as that's ready to go. Here we go, guys. All right, guys, it's been just a few minutes. I'm going to come back in here, take a look at this. It's nice and set up. I'm going to pull our curing tab right off the top of that. And then we're going to come back in here, and once again, very lightly, we're going to go ahead and scrape off where that resin was attached to the surrounding glass on the outside. Once again, because my squirt bottle is broken, we're going to get that on there like that. We're going to come back in here. You can see how that's leaving the residue of the polish. It's still in there. So we're going to go ahead and just get in here and turn that polisher back on. Let the polisher do the work. Let that polisher do the work. Boom, there it is, guys. There it is. Our customer's going to be very happy with that. Now when they walk up to this car, they can look at the sticker, look at the inside of the car, and not worry about, hey, is that a broken windshield? Is that going to spread? All right, that's it. All right, guys, so that's it. I'm out here at this Hyundai store in Redlands, Inland Empire Hyundai. You can see all these cars out here. I come out here sometimes once a week, sometimes twice a week, you know, depending on what time of the year is and how the car business is. But that's really about how easy it is, guys. I'll go ahead and get this invoice into the service manager, get them working on getting us a PO, and then I'll come back and visit you for when I get back to the car, and we'll wrap this up and give you a little final thought to walk away. All right, guys, I'll be back. All right, guys, there we are. We're over here at the Inland Empire Hyundai, right along the 10 freeway in Riverside County, California. I'll go ahead and get in the car here, and let's just kind of talk. You know, I've been doing this business for a long time, and it's been a very blessed ride. Been a little tough at times, but once you get the account set up, it's just showing up. It's just doing it. I'm not doing anything that anybody can't do. I get my exercise. I'm outside in the sun. I get to meet all kinds of neat and interesting people, and we just love what we do, and we're providing a service, a value-added service to try to save. In the end, it's to save you as the consumer. When you go to buy a used or a new car, you're saving some extra money and not having to pay for a windshield that maybe doesn't need to be replaced, you know, and it also keeps it out of the landfill, so that's a good thing. So yeah, I just wanted to bring you guys along and show you what I do for a living. You know, everyone kind of has their own ideas or doesn't know, and so I thought I would make a quick video and check that out. If you want to see more, leave me a comment and tell me. I'll go ahead and start making more videos, and you know, leave me any questions about the business, and I'll make another video to answer those questions. And heck, you guys can go with me every day for all I care. But for now, another great thing about this job is I get to travel all over and find all the neat places to grab lunch. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a taco fan. I'm on a bit of a diet right now, but I'm going to take you to my favorite place in Redlands called ChaCha's Tacos. I'm going to order one El Pastor taco. I'll share that with you and leave you the location. We'll go check that out. But that's one of the best things about this job, is I get to travel and find all of these neat little places to try to find the local street food of the area. So let's go check out ChaCha's Tacos, and you guys will love it. All right, guys, let's go. we are at ChaCha's Tacos. Let's go check this place out. Hey,
hello.
let me get a just one taco al pastor.
Okay.
That's it.
And that's it?
That's it. And do you have the Mexican Coke in a bottle?
No.
No? Okay.
You want a Coke?
No. I
And
just.
taco comes with cilantro and onion. That's fine.
What's that?
The taco comes with cilantro and onion.
Oh yeah. Yep. However it comes.
It's gonna be $3.94.
Put you right in there. Okay? Yeah, you're welcome. Alright, funny story about this place. When Sam and I first came to California, I was working at the car wash doing glass repair over there, just getting on my feet. It's before I started getting my own accounts, and we would come here and get the tacos al pastor or burrito, and it's just a lot of fond memories of starting this business and some of the places that we went to try to save money while trying to start this business. And it's just been an incredible ride. After 10 years, it's finally become fairly successful in terms of glass repair, and it's because we stopped at places like ChaCha's in order to save some money and just do the best we could with what we had. So I can't wait to show you this taco. All right guys, here it is, the famous ChaCha's taco. I'm just getting one because once again I'm on a diet, so let's get into this. I always get the fried jalapeno, and it goes along with it. It's a Southern California thing, you get that fried jalapeno. And then one al pastor taco. Once again, I'm on that diet. So let's peel this back and take a look at this thing. All right, so you got the homemade tortilla, the good al pastor. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. It looks amazing. There's the red salsa to go along with it. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, and then we'll wrap up in the car and we'll get on with our day. Bon appetit, al pastor. All right, guys, that's it for today. Just wanted to test out this new camera and bring you along. A lot of you guys have questioned in the past what I do for a living, and I wanted to share that with you. If you have any more questions or want to see more, let me know. Leave some comments, and man, I really hope you guys have a great day, and I hope the Lord blesses you with as much joy in what you do for a living as what the Lord's blessed me with. I really, truly do love what I do. There's other things that I could probably do to make more money and be more professional, but I would lose the time that this profession has afforded me, and the wonderful relationships and just satisfaction of what I do just wouldn't be the same. So find what works for you guys and be the best at it. That's all I got to say. Subscribe and follow, I guess. Leave me a comment. That's more important. I'd rather talk to you guys in the comments. So leave me a comment. Tell me that you hated it. Tell me that you loved it. Tell me you want to see more. Tell me what else you would want to see. I do all kinds of interesting stuff, and I'd love to share it with you. I'm trying to get in front of this camera more. I've usually been the guy behind the camera. Maybe that's the next one. I'll bring you along on the live streaming stuff that we do and the church media stuff. So until then, guys, have a fantastic day. I love you, and God bless. Bye-bye.